welcome back everyone to EastEnders Weekly, your weekly podcast.
Yes.
All about spring. Spring has sprung.
Spring has sprung,
Yes.
and with it came a new trailer, which was released quite quietly on the internet, but we knew about it, didn't we? We found it.
It's been ages since a good trailer's come out.
Well, yeah,
I like it.
They've had trailers throughout the John York reign, and they've all been a bit like, oh yeah, good, but not really got us too excited. But I mean, if you want to look at the trailer, we actually have it on our Twitter page, but you can find it just by looking up on Google, really, on EastEnders.
You can find it on EastEnders Twitter page.
You can find it, yeah. Why would you go there?
6 million followers, you know.
Nothing. Fair in comparison to us.
Looks exciting though.
Really exciting. Lots of stories that we kind of knew were coming, but that didn't really disappoint us either.
They look good.
Yeah,
and someone's getting kidnapped in a car.
Yes.
Possibly Louise, I think. I'm not sure.
There's a lot of speculation of who that person
Looked like Louise to me.
was.
Locked in a container somewhere.
Looking down on her phone, probably, on her Insta chats. As I said, we did post it on our Twitter, and we asked what people thought of it. We wanted some opinions from you guys out there, and you didn't fail to send us your thoughts, and here are a few of them right here. So, at Matt19020 said, the greatness that is Sharon cannot be overstated. And that is true, because there's a wonderful scene in it when she smacks Sticks, is it, in the face?
Yes.
Turns around to Dennis and Tiff and says, hard enough for ya. I mean, there's Sharon. That's the Sharon we know and love. Not the one chasing people across the square in her trainers. No, she just goes straight into it and gets smacked in the face. That's what we want more of from her.
Like a good punch. Normally it's people doing it to Sharon though, when Karen punched her that one time.
Yeah, but Sharon can give us what she can give as much as she takes, let me tell you. At Ryan Wright 97 says, great trailer. Standout for me is the writers remembering Sonia and Tiff are related.
Oh yes.
I mean, it's always nice when they remember something like that.
The history.
Yes, a little something. At Tina Westfall said, I'm excited for it all. I'm really looking forward to Karen's daughter showing up. Karen Taylor and her family are a great addition to EastEnders. Yes, we said that a few times.
Can't wait for them to turn up.
Well, yes, there's a certain character that you're most looking forward to turning up, aren't you?
Mr. Grey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have a professional solicitor on the show.
Nice to have a law-abiding, not someone who just makes things up like Jack. It's like, the police will do this, the police will do that. You know, someone actually who can tell you.
Will he be law-abiding though? That's the question.
Well.
This is East End, full of trouble.
At Hoovian Sloth 16 says, EastEnders well and truly back. I cannot wait to see all this unfold. I mean, this is what we were talking about the confidence that they need to inject into the soap. And by showing this trailer, you can really see it again. They're really showing a bit
And there's loads of location work as well, which I like. On top of the dome. Millennial Dome.
Yes!
Gene's going
It's
for it.
not called the Millennium Dome anymore. It's called the O2.
I don't know what it's called.
The O2.
Okay.
I think contractually, by law, your solicitor friend will know this. I think you cannot call it the Millennium Dome anymore. Did you ever go to the Millennium Dome when it was the Millennium Dome?
I did, actually.
Did you? You were one of the 5, were you?
Yeah, there was like a big heart that you walked
There
past.
was the Bodyworks, wasn't there? That human that you could walk through.
That's all I remember.
Oh, memorable
the whole
then.
thing.
That was worth that billions that they paid for that. One last comment as well. At @knee_lamb. OMG. Everything. Absolutely everything. Nothing will top Sharon's hard enough for you punch. So, yes, again.
So that's what everyone's taken away from
I was going to say, I think a lot of people took away the Sharon
punching
story, yeah. I mean, it's great seeing, as I say, it's great seeing Sharon in such a enthusiastic role.
Well, guess what, you guys?
What?
This podcast isn't about spring or gardening.
But it will be soon.
It's about EastEnders. And we are discussing episodes that were broadcast between the 18th and the 22nd of March. Who are you? Come on.
Shush. Hush you. I'm Alex, by the way.
Good.
Who are you?
Oh, you want to know?
Yeah.
I'm Ben.
Oh,
Hi.
right. Not that
I'm
it's
the host.
important. Are you?
Yes, I am.
Some say otherwise.
And I say we are going to go straight on to our first topic.
Go on then.
And it is Denise, Mitch, and someone's back. Kim.
Yes.
She returned.
In her tartan. Well, she says her family tartan.
Because she's like 1% Scottish or something, apparently.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
she did a DNA test, did she, while she was away?
Which she did the DNA test when she was finding out whether she was sisters with Denise. It must have come up on there, mustn't it?
1% Scottish.
1% Scottish, yeah.
No babies in sight either. I don't know where they were.
Her kids were dumped somewhere. Not with Bex, though. Normally the kids
Sonia,
maybe.
Stuart.
Well, maybe. Stuart's beginning to show light, hasn't he?
I noticed as well that Kim still had a wedding ring on when she was introduced to Mitch.
Wait, yes,
So
and
she still holds a flame for Vincent.
well, no. See, I have this as a note to bring up because she actually introduces herself as Kim Fox Hubbard, but then later she corrects herself and says, "Oh, no, just Fox." So I think that she is slowly releasing herself from thinking that Vincent will ever return. I think
So am I.
she's giving up. No, Vincent will be back.
No, Richard Black was busy. Did
No,
Dancing on Ice, went out first.
Yeah, went out first. He didn't do very well on that, did he?
But Mitch also mentioned, did you used to own that big house on Albert Square? He mentioned that. So I still think Chantel's going to be moving into there.
Well,
Chantel and her rich boyfriend.
Well, it makes sense, yeah. And someone needs to occupy that house. It's such
Things don't get mentioned like that for no reason on this show.
Well, lots of things have been mentioned this week.
I also mention as well,
Yeah.
last week I said Bex and Kush might be a thing.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember that?
I do.
What did you say?
I said no.
Not a chance?
And to be fair, a lot of people agree with me. It's not a nice... We're going to come to it later, so we'll talk about it in more detail. Well, let everyone know a bit later on in the show.
I was right.
Well, you were right.
On that line that I picked out, I knew it.
I admitted I was wrong on Twitter.
She said it again this week to Louise as well.
What?
That same line. You can't help who you fall in love with. So,
well, we'll get to. I've got many an opinion on the Bex and Kush story.
I've got many opinion on Denise as well because Mitch, he's stolen lots of money from Patrick in the past, which we know. So he's slowly paying it off.
Yes.
And he's done some kitchen work for them.
Even though he had a paid job to go to, and he needs this paid job because he's got his
football boots to buy.
Yeah, for Bailey, because she's just made the football team.
Yeah,
so
storyline.
Well, no, that's been forgotten. Let's be honest. This is the school football team, not the outside of school.
Oh, yeah, of that weird woman.
Yeah, and
where's Rat? How's Rat getting on? I wonder. Is he in hospital still?
Don't know. Did he? Well, again, if you watch the trailer, I think you find there's a little hint there about what's going to go down with that.
What about the man that got kicked down the stairs and stole the money from Max's house? What's he up to?
Well, the money that got stolen that no one seems to have mentioned.
All these people I missed. Rat, Evie, Sloth, Bunhead.
Tiff, she's just gone.
No, yeah, she's gone.
She'll be back though.
She's in the trailer.
I think you could play bingo with characters that weren't in the trailer. There you go.
Kim, she wasn't in the trailer.
No, she wasn't. Well, I think she's had her big story for the spring now. She's just come back.
Return?
Yeah, she's returned. Well, there's not much really she has to do. Other than
no, there isn't.
Kind of be in the background for a little bit.
But yeah, Mitch obviously was doing something nice for Patrick-ish, but then at the same time steals from him again, kind of, that record, because he hears that it may be worth money.
Yeah, there's a record that Patrick was apparently playing on loop continuously while he was fixing that cupboard. And Patrick's got quite the record collection because one record is worth £300, and then when he had them valued, he found out that the collection of his records was £6,000.
No, it wasn't that much. Well, it is a lot.
That's quite a lot.
I know, but the way they were reacting, I thought it was going to be 600,000.
Well, Denise sees this as a potential deposit for renting a unit for
silly.
Something.
Yes,
which she has no experience in whatsoever with her one GCSE in English.
It's really random she wants to open a salon, isn't it? Do you not think it's weird? Where did this come from in her head?
I mean, she wants to work for... She's sick and tired of working for other people, isn't she? And so she wants to work for herself. She had that failed phone interview where they asked her age and she went off on one, which is illegal, by the way. That's not allowed. Not naughty. And so she sees this as an opportunity that she can do it on her own and work for herself.
But she's not actually going to do anything in the salon. She's just going to open it and then hire people, I'm guessing.
Yes, which is a bit stupid. If you're starting your own business, you should start on a skill that you can have. Yeah, that you can start. So basically the staff isn't a outcome or an outgoing that's going to be potentially your biggest at the beginning of starting a new business.
It's really weird. And the fact that then Mitch overhears this because Kim tells him, and then he starts pitching a barbershop.
Yeah.
To Patrick. And Patrick knows that he's just stolen loads of money from him, but he's up for the idea of helping him over Denise. It's really weird to me. Surely Patrick should just be no, I'll help Denise.
But Mitch has shown that he actually has a talent for it.
That's true.
Remember when they set up the barbershop in Patrick's front room? Only a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Should be a memory that sticks.
I do remember.
And so...
Yeah, but surely he has loyalties because Mitch stole from him.
Yeah, Patrick might have loyalties, but at the same time, Patrick has a degree of sense, and he knows that if he was to give money to someone who's never done anything like this before, it's like when Denise was being asked, what would you want to do? And she went, oh yeah, all natural products, and I would have a little nail area. And Kim was saying, oh, you can have board games in the back, and you could have, drink.
Cats.
Yeah, cats.
Waxing.
Can you imagine cats around the waxing area? Those poor things, they'd be stuck to your legs.
Yeah. Who would you? Because they did like this. It was obvious they were going to do it. The apprentice thing. It was quite obvious the way they wrote that, as in, at the end of tomorrow, one of you will be hired.
Yes,
It was literally cut and paste from The Apprentice.
Patrick is Lord Sugar, isn't he?
Who's your money on?
What?
Mitch or Denise?
Well,
who would you hire?
Well, using my head or my heart.
It's your £6,000
Well, my 6,000
to open a whole salon in London somehow.
Oh, yeah. I know that Mitch has been shown to be not very trusting, but let's be honest, he has the skills of being able to do.
Well, he might disappear.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter because but I think Mitch wants to settle. He wants to plant some roots, doesn't he? Because he's got quite a few fingers in a few pies around the square now. He's got Karen, he's got Bailey. I think there's that interest between him. This is something I think there might be a love triangle set up with Denise and Kim at some point.
Do you think?
Because he was flirting with Kim at the bar
until he saw her wedding ring, then he sort of stopped.
Yeah, but then that's why I said she had corrected herself before that. She said Fox Hubbard, and then so she gave the indication that she had been married. Yeah, Mitch, of course, 100%. Denise can get that job at the call centre.
No, she's too old.
I think it's her attitude that will not get her the job.
I was wondering, that record that was worth loads of money, was that one that Yolandi gave him 2 years ago for his birthday when she appeared? She appeared for one episode and she gave him a record for his birthday.
Yeah, but it's not just one record, is it? It's many records.
Oh, he's selling it. It's not very nice. Poor Yolandi.
Yeah, but what did he need with it?
Memories of Yolandi.
Well, actually, there's a point there because he likes listening to his records. So is he just gonna? He could buy a Spotify
He'll do
account.
it all on MP3, won't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Get it transferred.
Stream it all. By the way, you can stream us on Spotify too if you are that way inclined.
Yeah, we're on Spotify.
We are. There you go, Patrick. Do you reckon if we recorded this is our 58th show? Do you reckon we record those, put them on records? They'll be worth some money in
£300 each.
We can sell them on.
From next week, there's going to be a fee for people to listen. £300 an episode.
Don't say that.
I want to open a salon. You see, I'd rather go with Denise. I think,
really?
Even though she has no experience and she's delusional. Family, got to keep it with family.
Is she?
Got to support her.
Are you 1% Scottish?
With my own tartan under here.
Are you? You're wearing tartan under that t-shirt, are you? Tattooed onto your chest. With pride.
I mean, there's a spanner in the works next week with this storyline. Spoilers. I'm not going to say what it is, but a hairdresser arrives on the square to team up with Denise.
Oh, so basically, you've basically given the answer of how the money goes.
We don't know.
Well, I think you've just given.
We don't know who Patrick will choose.
By the way you've said that.
Well, I don't know myself. I just know that someone...
you said teamed up with Denise, so presumably it would be...
Yeah, because Denise can't do anything, can she?
I know that.
Pop-up station. So, yeah.
I mean, I suppose it's not out of the realms of possibility, because when Dino had that salon, he had Shirley working there, and she just used to sit in reception.
She was in reception, yeah. There's loads of people. Stacey, she can work there. Lola used to work she was an apprentice with Paul Coker, so she's coming back soon. She could work there. So lots of people can work in Denise's salon.
Yeah.
Shirley.
They could do an apprenticeship system.
Yeah, Keegan. He needs a job.
Well, Keegan could work in Mitch's.
Yeah.
Tiff, you're right. Tiff does makeup.
Yeah, see, it's
Stacey.
all going on. Yep, Stacey. I've already said Stacey.
Everyone says Stacey's good. She comes to their house.
She does wedding hair.
She does. Wait, I suppose there's enough
Kim
of them.
does the waxing. It's all going.
They can change the soap.
I'm Team Denise, I'm afraid. Mitch is out.
Change the soap so it becomes like just all central around this whole salon.
Well, like the show that Amanda Holden used to do.
Yeah, cutting it EastEnders.
Cutting it east.
Yes, cutting it east. You've heard it here first.
Cut up north.
Cut down south.
That's Kim's waxing section.
Yeah, with the cats, with the kittens.
Right, so the next subject, the next storyline we're doing is the Jean and the Carters one, because Linda's a bit angry still. She's coming across a bit mean, isn't she?
Well, she's just come back from her daughter's wedding earlier than Mick. Was there an explanation given for why Mick
didn't really say. I think he's just staying there to spend time with Nancy or something. I think she said very quickly.
There we go.
Maybe him and Masuda chilling on the beach.
Maybe they're having an affair. Never can tell. Never can tell with cutting itself.
So yeah, Linda's back, but she's obviously not happy about Jean living there, which comes across as horrible to begin with. But there is like a reason, because some people may have forgotten this storyline. the one that Sean O'Connor invented, but then didn't actually do, which is her having cancer off screen when the actress was pregnant in real life.
Yes, so she had time away.
It was very convoluted and didn't make any sense to anyone.
But the writers have quite cleverly brought it back as a storyline now with Linda. So you saw her scar, presumably from when she had an operation from chemo and so forth. And she's being quite reflective about it and doesn't really like Jean being around, because Jean being in the home with the cancer reminds her of the illness that she had, and she doesn't really want to keep reminding herself of it.
I don't know if there's levels of, because Linda was away from her family, the same as what Jean is doing. She's going away from her family to cope with it. I don't know if there's a level of Linda thinking that Jean should be with her family and she regrets that she wasn't, maybe.
But Jean did explain it quite eloquently, that she didn't want to be there in front of Stacey because Stacey was brought up watching her being ill, watching Jean being ill, and she doesn't think it's fair that she should have Stacey to then go through it all over again. She's come out of it once, seen that her mum's recovered from it. She'd rather that she sees her mum recovered before she goes a bit down again. I mean, Jean is being really sweet, that when she talks to Linda, saying like, you can't catch it by talking about it, and it's better if we were out in the open about our feelings about it. And Linda says that the thing about the cancer that she hated the most is the fear of it, the fear of having cancer again and it coming back. And this resonated with Jean slightly, because obviously Jean is only at the beginning of the journey and she's frightened about the pain of having to...
Like the treatment.
Yes, and the...
And not knowing, I guess.
Yeah, and Linda comforts her by saying, on one hand, that's not the painful part. The painful part is it being you having the clear, and then always on the back of your mind thinking, I'm going to get it again, I can catch it again. So you can understand really Linda's, wanting to be reserved about Jean living with her.
Yeah, you can, because I think some people were writing her off a bit too quickly, saying Linda's just being horrible or Linda's just being self-absorbed. But there is an explanation because of the storyline, so they've done well to piece it back together that way. Yeah,
weave it together. I mean, we did get the third incarnation of Jean's sausage surprise.
I know, it's evolving, isn't it?
It really is.
Maybe it changes depending on the
ingredients that she has at hand.
Maybe it depends on the season.
The ingredients she can get.
Yeah, or maybe the winter it's a brat, because it used to be a hot pot. Once upon a time
with beans.
So maybe she does that in the winter,
sausages.
And then in the spring, summer, she changes it up into a bit of mash and beans. And...
I just thought maybe that's where she got the idea of later on walking the Millennium Dome. Her sausage surprise, yes, with the sausages poking out from the top of it. It does. It looks like a Millennium Dome or the O2. Goodness me, I'm going to get in trouble. We keep forgetting to say it.
Yeah, so that keeps changing. Although this normally people don't like it, but Tina and Halfway had 2 portions.
What really is there not to like?
It doesn't look that. I mean, it looks a bit dry.
Oh, hardly. Yeah,
could do some melted cheese on top, I think.
No. Then they've got condiments on the table. There was ketchup and HP sauce. Can't go wrong with a bit of brown sauce slathered on top of it.
Slaters are fussy, aren't they?
Well, Mo isn't. Mo's not fussy. She'll eat
true.
Weeks old food and then spend the whole rest of the night up on the toilet. I mean, that sausage surprise looked delicious.
Well, it doesn't look delicious.
It did make...
But it looked okay.
There were sausages, there was mashed potato, and there was baked beans.
Yeah, but it'd be annoying to get a portion. I need more sausages as well, I think. There wasn't that many.
But there was a side dish of... we're going right off tangent. There was a side dish of green peas as well, but no one seemed interested in them. I know. I don't like to mix my baked beans with actual vegetables.
And she had lots of beetroot in the fridge when she was told to leave by Linda. She picked up loads of beetroot, her own. Was that part of the recipe too, or was that just something
No, she does mention it later. She says that it's meant to be good for
the smoothie.
Antioxidants for the cancer.
Wondering, is a bit of that chucked in there too?
No, well, maybe for colouring. Maybe she uses the purple colouring just to give it a Halloweeny feel. Maybe that's a Halloween incarnation.
We also, another part of this storyline, we had Shirley's sort of side of things where she was getting a bit emotional. There's a tear going down her face, which we don't see very often from Shirley.
Yeah, sad Shirley.
Smoking on the park.
Yeah, chain smoking one after another while all the chaos is happening at Ruby's. Come to that later. She's gone to visit Heather's grave.
Yes, because it's been, I think, 7 years, isn't it, since she passed this earth.
Not passed is a kind term. When she was
bludgeoned to death with a
with a photo frame.
Yes. by the lovely Ben Mitchell. And then, of course, Phil walks by.
Yes, and Shirley was quite flippant to Phil, asking how Ben was. This was the second reference to Ben this week. I was talking about references earlier in the show, because Jay mentions that he tried to phone Ben to have a chat, and it was a British dial tone.
Yes.
So he's back in the country.
It's funny that they bring up this Heather thing again with Shirley, because when Ben came back last time, when it was Harry Reid, the first time Harry Reid was doing it, they did this storyline where Shirley hadn't forgiven him about Heather then, and then they had like a thing and they did forgive each other. And it seems like they're like bringing it up again, but they've already done it.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a loose reconciliation between them. I don't think she'll ever forgive him for doing it, because that was Shirley's true friend. Like, they stood up for each other, and it, he took that away from her, unnecessarily so as well. Like, he did kill her on a false pretense. So, you can kind of understand why.
But it just feels like we've already seen them do this when it was Harry Reid before, and now it seems like they're doing it again.
Or different face. Same old problems.
But they decided to do some karaoke to lure Shirley back into the Vic.
Yes, because after Jean and Linda had patched themselves up and kind of agreed that Jean could stay, they start looking at solutions for getting Shirley back in.
Because Linda was like, I can't believe I forgot. It's like, have you ever mentioned Heather in like this whole time? Never.
Well, to be fair, not that I've ever forgot Heather, because who would ever forget Heather? She was a great character. But, I couldn't, and other than them doing it this year, I couldn't think of a time when they've ever reflected on it. No,
I don't think they have. So it's basically because Ben's coming back.
Well, it's because Ben's coming back, and also I think there's maybe George might be a character in a few years' time. Bring
George
back George.
Michael?
Yeah.
He's dead. Wait, the real George Michael? What are you talking about?
No, not George. No, not the child, Heather's child, George. Goodness me. Sorry. I know they like bringing people back from the dead in EastEnders, but that's ridiculous. That would actually be some voodoo
George Michael
stuff.
died last. Oh yeah, the kid. Yes.
It's the child.
Yes.
The child, George. Heather's child, George. Not the pop
singer.
The only
thing
the
I remember about Heather, because I didn't really watch Heather much when I used to watch it, but the only thing I remember is her thinking she was meeting George, and it was something about under a toilet. That's all I remember. Under a toilet stool, she thought George Michael was there.
Oh no, I remember
his shoes or something.
No, I remember that her and Shirley went to, they thought was George Michael's house. That was a story, and they went into his bins and they took out loads of stuff and kept it as memorabilia. That's all I remember of that.
Poor Heather.
I know.
Taken too soon.
She was. She's very busy though. She's we follow her on Instagram. She's always in a play somewhere.
Yeah, doing so, isn't she? Right. So next up, we have got a game. One of two.
Yes, it's my game first. So put on your bib. Time to stuff your face with some fruit and veg. Time for your big portion of vitamin D, Ben.
My favourite.
Yes, it's Martin Fowler, and it is 5 a day.
Yummy.
Rules of the game, as always, like every time we play it. Basically, I'm going to give you a question, and there's 5 answers that you can give to me, or more, in fact. But you must give me 5 answers that apply to the question.
Yes.
Simple as that.
I'll try my best.
And obviously, we encourage everyone to try it at home. And you have 30 seconds to give me all of your 5 answers. And if you don't, you lose.
I'm deficient in my vitamins.
You need a vitamin injection.
I need all of Martin's D. Vitamin D.
We all need... I'm sure we've made this joke before, so we're not going back to it.
I hope so.
Right, so in honour of a returning character in a couple of weeks' time, I thought we'd do a Ben Mitchell one.
Ooh.
So how well do you feel you know Ben Mitchell?
As long as it's not named that 6 actors that have played him.
No.
Oh, good.
Almost, but no, because I did think that's a bit mean. Because a couple of them aren't really...
They've got weird names. Can't pronounce them.
Yeah.
Harry Reid.
And also... yeah, that's really weird. Strange names. So, Ben Mitchell has got himself in a bit of trouble in the past on the square. And he has upset and ruffled a few feathers to the point that he's basically got into a physical exchange with some characters on the square. I wonder if you could name some of them. So, in 30 seconds, can you name up to 5 characters that Ben Mitchell has had some kind of physical altercation with? Be it punched, or pushed, or murdered.
It's a lot of research.
Yeah, well, see if you can find them. So, 30 seconds, starting from now.
Phil Mitchell.
Correct, he punched him in the face when he got out of jail.
I don't know the boy's name who he said needs slapping down. That's really annoying. It's not Jordan.
Jordan Johnson.
Oh, it is Jordan.
He attacks him with a spanner and says,
good.
"You need splacking down."
Who else would he have hit? Jay? Must have hit Jay.
No, he hasn't hit Jay. He's been upset with Jay.
Heather.
He
Was it
did.
that quick?
He hit Heather round with a picture frame and killed her. You've got 5 seconds. 2 more.
Roxy.
No.
Peggy. Grant.
No.
Pauline.
Time's up. But that's the way to play it. You had to just keep shouting out
know.
names. Good for you. You got 3. He burnt Louise Mitchell with a spoon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, he learned that from me, did he?
He did. And he pushed Aunt Glenda Mitchell down some stairs because she ruined his homecoming party.
Oh, so Roxy and Ronnie's mum. Oh,
Yeah.
so I was close to saying Roxy.
You were. That's why I
Kind
say
of.
just throw out the names.
Forgot about her.
Pauline Fowler was a miss there, I'm afraid.
I was
swing and a miss.
Scared. Always throwing a Pauline just in case.
He didn't do it to his mum either. He's never, although he's been
Our
upset.
Kath.
Our Kath. He's been upset that his mum obviously returned. He never did anything kind of physical toward her.
Good.
Just gave her that.
Upset calf.
Yeah, gave her that beautiful necklace that she no longer wears at the calf.
It's so heavy it hurt her neck.
It weighed her down while she was sizzling that bacon on the frying pan. So there you go. So that was 5 instances when Ben Mitchell was attacking. Yeah, so it's attacking someone. There you go.
I was about to say him and Paul, but they attacked Ben, so that doesn't count.
Yes.
It could be another game.
Well,
Who's attacked Ben?
I mean, on screen, I should have made the rules a bit more clearer because Ben perhaps would have attacked his attackers when him and Paul were being followed, but that never happened on screen. Although his attackers did kidnap him in a strange turn of events.
Oh, there you go. If it was the other way round, Pauline could have been an answer. She might have slapped him once.
It wouldn't matter if Pauline slapped him.
Yeah, but if it was...
If it was the other way round.
Who's hit Ben?
Who's hit Ben?
There you go, that's part 2.
Who's Ben slapped down to? By? Yeah. I mean, if any of you guys have any questions for Martin Fowler's 5 a day that I can pitch at Ben, just put as a subject Martin Fowler's 5 a day, just so Ben doesn't open it and cheat, to eastendersweekly@gmail.com, or you can tweet us at EastEndersWeek. And that was your weekly dose of Martin Fowler's 5 a day.
I'm so full after all that veg, I could fall asleep all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, you couldn't take the full amount though, could you? Couldn't stuff it all in. But well done. You did very well when we recorded that. I was very impressed.
Thank you. So next up, we've got the Ruby storyline, which has taken another unexpected turn. Keeps doing unexpected turns, this storyline, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, after
what's going on?
Well, after Thursdays, I was questioning whether this was such a great idea. But then after Friday, I was like, nah, I'll take it with a pinch of salt. Yeah, but then should you take a story this serious with that kind of attitude? Like,
yeah, I know. That's the thing, because obviously it's difficult because it's done by 2 different producers, so they've taken it in completely different ways. But the fact that Rape Crisis were helping them develop this storyline to begin with,
yes,
I wonder how they feel about the way this has gone. Like, are they still involved with helping? Because I doubt they would have given this as an okay route to go, like drugging someone and trying to cut their
appendage
bits off.
Yeah.
So that does worry me a bit, and it worries me for Ruby's character as well, because like it kind of puts a dead end to her. Like, doing this is a bit. She needs to just leave again. Like, we're going back to that place again where she can't really
redeem herself from this. Yeah, because once it gets let out that she's a. I mean, she always says throughout the episode on Thursday and Friday, she kind of made references that you must think I'm a bit nutty or you must think I'm a bit mad. And again, it kind of puts anyone who has been raped in the past, it kind of puts them in a kind of a light where you're
nutty.
Yeah.
You will be nutty. Yeah.
You're a hysterical woman, that kind of thing. And it's not really right that they've done that. As I said, on Friday, I didn't change my mind, but I kind of thought, okay, so you're kind of putting a bit of an entertainment spin on it a little bit. A little bit of a jump the shark kind of spin, the fact that...
But it makes the court case really tricky, because all he has to say is that he got catfished over to her flat, and then to say, she then drugs me, and then I woke up outside.
But they kind of wrote it off. They said that, he can't ever use this as evidence against you.
You could.
Well, easily. I mean, once he becomes around from being drugged by Ruby, all he has to do is go to a police station or a hospital, and they can take a blood test and prove that had happened. And then they got the evidence, as you said, of him going to her house because there's that conversation. And all Martin could give as
she gave the address under her fake name.
Yes,
I live in this.
Yeah. Come find me. The nutty woman upstairs will let you in.
And he took a photo of her. So yeah, it was really risky.
Really risky.
Obviously, she thought she was going to kill him, I'm assuming.
Well, that was obviously the ultimate goal in Ruby's head. That she was. Well, I don't think she was going to.
Oh no, she was going to cut off.
She was going to cut off his bit.
And then leave him in a park, I guess.
I mean, I did love that Stacey smacked him in the face while he was unconscious as well. That was quite funny. Like, she was like, "Oh, hang on a minute, boof."
I mean, getting up to this point of Ruby's madness, we had some things where she was asking Phil because she suddenly remembered her dad was Johnny Allen.
Yes.
Again, weird that this is John York started this storyline, but he didn't mention any of this before, and it's taken Kate Oates to be like, there is a history between all these characters.
Oh yeah, she's got a gangster-related history.
Yeah,
perhaps she's got.
It took 8 months, and it's really weird when Sharon was like, "Don't you ever mention Ruby's name in this house?" It's like she's been on the square for 8 months. But why you suddenly have an issue with her?
Yeah.
It's really odd.
Well, and what reminded me was also the scene in the episode where they were in the Vic and they were having this discussion about what's consent and blah, and Sharon was getting right involved with that.
Yeah, it's really odd.
Yeah, without any kind of bad ties or bad blood between her and Ruby.
It's like they just suddenly wrote out that Sharon hates her.
Yeah.
Because he had something to do with Dennis's death. But
linked
she can't forgive that. Like, a daughter of someone who did, but she can be married to Phil quite happily. I mean, when he was the one who really set it all up.
Well, Phil's hands aren't clean
she
to that.
She can forgive him, but not Ruby, because her dad had something to do with it.
Really loose ties.
It's like, God's sake, Sharon. So that was a bit silly. Although I did like the mention of when Dennis smiles, he reminds me of his dad. That stuck a knife into Phil.
Phil didn't like that, especially when he was stewing over his money woes, because this week we learnt that Phil is a bit in trouble with his money.
Sharon's overspending again.
Well, Sharon's overspending, but also
taking his credit card.
Yeah, but also a lot of people seem to be just stealing money from him. There was Alfie and Stuart.
Well, that's the thing. He's going after Stuart for £600 and saying no to Ruby for a few thousand to bump someone off. Alfie's taken 50,000.
Yeah, and again, he's not gone to the Slaters to try to address this fact.
So yeah, that's weird. Phil's priority should be that 50k. That'd be a few handbags for Sharon.
Well, or a few light floors, to light up the disco at the E20.
So yeah, we then had Phil and Ruby having another. It was like the producers had watched 2000 and a few episodes and be like, write all this down. And they reference everything in one because Phil,
loads, wasn't there?
In the past had paid someone to take her virginity to get back at Johnny Allen.
Julie. So she paid Julie to take her virginity, and so she likened it to that as well. It's like, you're not afraid of paying someone to as good as rape me.
That's
as well.
A mad reference, such a
heck of a reference,
a thing from years ago.
But also how he drove Ruby from almost getting alcohol poisoning to hospital. Yeah. That was referenced. How Johnny almost killed him and Grant as well in the forest. I mean, like you say, it's like they just went into the archives what happened between these two a few years ago and started writing them down.
Which should have been... This is the stuff we wanted when Ruby first came back. And then they should have done, the rape story now. It should have been the other way around.
Absolutely. They should have had Ruby coming in and kind of pushing herself about a little bit. Trying to be like her father, rather than now she's trying to be more like her father. I mean, that is one you said earlier, that where do you go with Ruby after this? But that is one thing, I suppose, because she shows that she could have gone through with it. She almost did.
She had the bin bag taped down and all the things was ready.
And the way she was talking as well, it was almost like a serial killer. The way she was just kind of explaining it to herself.
Casually doing it,
yeah. Casually doing it, kind of explaining it away in her own mind that she was going to do this and go ahead, and she didn't show any remorse at all. Because he wouldn't return the same kindness to her.
Because she catfished him, Ross, which again is strange, because wasn't it Matt who she said had sex with her without her knowledge? So why is she going after Ross? I thought she would have gone after Matt. If she was trying to get revenge on one of them. I
mean, Matt has shown in public that he's a bit more apologetic about it. Exactly. And this week we learned that he wasn't.
Encrypted chats on fake WhatsApp say otherwise.
Yes. I mean, I love that fake WhatsApp app. I was really impressed with it. And Martin had stolen his phone and seen that, to everyone else, he's like, oh, he's ruined my family. My family won't talk to me. I've got friends, colleagues. There's a girl I used to like, and we had a really good thing going, and now she doesn't talk to me. And then Martin looks at his text messages, and as you said, there's this
weird group chat where they're all like bragging about lots of different things.
Yeah, and how they've had sex with women, and how the next morning the woman was, so it's similar to what they'd done to Ruby. So obviously this is again a strong case to show that they're actually not as white and innocent as they were trying to make themselves out to be.
Yeah, because Martin, I mean, he took his time to tell Ruby he had this phone. Like, wait, right to the end of the night.
Well, I mean, Stacey was trying to get Martin to listen to what Ruby was saying. Ruby was saying that the only way she can wipe this memory and get this...
I know, but, like, they were about to chop his bits off, and Stacey was like, if you want to do it, you can. Well... That's the point where Martin
with a
goes,
caveat,
actually, though. Ruby, maybe I have this phone. Look, there's evidence here. You don't have to do that.
Well, no, he only said that. He only said that in the PG.
I know. You should have said it a bit sooner.
Well, maybe, but Stacey did, like I say, had a caveat that yes, if you did it, and chopped off his dong, then that's not a problem. That's fine. You can do that, but just be aware of the consequences. Yeah. I did that to Archie. And I
ran away to Mexico.
Yeah.
And got off
on a plane
whilst
looking at the O2 as I flew away. And so
I mean, Stacey didn't really pay her things, did she? She had like a few years. Was she even in prison for a few years?
Yeah, she was in. I think
not
it was
long
more than that.
No, it wasn't, because she then escaped to Mexico. And then when she returned, she had a fake identity because Kat saw her in a hair salon on a bus. And then they convinced Janine to give them an alibi because Kat had something on Janine, I think.
But I think
so. Did Stacey really pay her dues?
She didn't pay her dues to perhaps the public, but in her own mind, she will always relive the moment. And she said that Archie will always have that hold on her, despite of her whacking him around the head. She lost Bradley as well. That was a big Bradley. Big Bradley. That was a blow for Stacey because he took the blame for the murder.
Lots of references and past things going on, but she didn't chop anything off in the end.
Thankfully.
She was talked around, but I don't know where this leaves her court case because it's a bit chaotic now.
Yeah, well, exactly. It just leaves everything in the air so much. I mean, I guess next week we're just going to have a police officer.
Are they allowed to use Matt's phone as evidence if they've stolen his phone? Or is that allowed?
I guess.
Weird, isn't it?
I don't know. It's tricky, isn't it? I don't really know.
We will have to see what happens with the court case.
Yes.
Which is soon because they did a second trailer after the episode of like they did an April trailer. It was exciting.
A bit more narrowed down, a bit more pinpointed.
Yeah, so we've got the court case to look forward to, but the storyline's taken a bit of an iffy turn where it's not, it's good for TV, but like the original point of this storyline wasn't where they are at now.
No, it was to reflect like the whole what is consent.
Not pay someone to kill someone. I won't do it. Okay, I'll do it myself.
Yeah. I'll catfish them to my house.
But
I was looking forward to the courtroom scenes, but now I think it's just going to be so tarnished by last week's episode.
You have to be careful of court scenes as well because everyone online will be like, this isn't right, especially with everything that's just happened. So we'll see. Right, so we're going to go back in time next.
It's back. Finally!
Yay! Yes, we got some classic discussion. So enjoy.
BBC One after this evening's episode of EastEnders.
Back again.
Yes.
After much delay.
Hooray! We've fitted time this time. Yeah. We've rejigged ideas and so yes, we slotted it in.
It seems like all the storylines are coming to an end now. Like Lofty seems to be running around on his own.
Yeah, all the original characters seem to kind of finding excuses to go, or they're winding down.
They're just hanging around at the moment. Like Angie's kind of just hanging around, and Lofty's hanging around.
Then hanging around,
giving birth.
So but Junior Ali Junior, Little Junior Ali Junior Little.
The biggest bump in the world.
It was ridiculous, wasn't it? She was huge. It was like she was pushing like a trolley underneath her skirt. Like every time her long like nightie just carried just went out so far. And then when she had the baby, it was this tiny little thing. It was very funny. But lucky for Sue that Lofty was about because he knew everything. He'd read up about how to give birth to a child. When he was going to be a dad.
Never happened.
No, because we know that Lofty likes to pick up information from the library, and he was able to, delve deep into it.
Be the half modern man that he tries to be.
Half modern man, but women should stay at home while men work. But that's not his fault. He's still trying to evolve, isn't he? So mould himself a little bit. No one was there to mould him, so he's trying to mould himself to the rights and wrongs of the world.
But it's sad because it's like the end of the classic EastEnders, like soon.
Yeah.
Like the classic time when all of them go.
It's funny because it's like Jekyll and Hyde, how Ian Beale has almost overnight gone from being this snivelling kind of teenager character. And then this week he was like, family look after family, gave money to the loan shark. And then when the loan shark put out his hand, he was like, receipt. And it was like, oh, here we go.
That's Ian Beale.
This is Ian Beale. He's here.
Although
He's
Ian's
arrived.
storyline is the most gross storyline with his like cousin.
Yeah, so let's bring this up because we've discussed this on social media everywhere. Why is it okay to the world that Ian is dating his cousin?
Because Kathy's not impressed. She was the first one, thank God. Because we kept saying, why is no one mentioning this is weird that Ian and his cousin are like together?
Yeah.
And then Kathy, bless her,
Kath. She knows right from wrong. She's Samaritan trained. She said over the cornflakes that, it's your cousin Ian. It's not really the right thing to do.
Yeah. And then Pete also piped up and said it's a bit weird.
Well, only after Pete on Ian's birthday opened the door while they were kissing and went, hey, whoa, and did typical Pete. I mean, Pete really
he kept trying to embarrass them, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Pete let himself down even more this week by just encouraging the men of Walford to go see this pornography film in the village hall of
my favourite duff duff ever.
Yes, Dots duff duff. Describe it to us for anyone who may not have seen it.
Well, there's like a show going on which they're saying it's an African culture show, but it's actually a stripper.
Yeah.
For all the men of Walford.
And a dirty film. So they have the dirty film to warm up the act. It is
they all
the
talk
warm-up
about
act.
it.
Yeah, I know. And then while they're watching the video, they're all going, oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, lovely.
Can you imagine being sat next to Pete during that? Ugh. The things that he'd be saying.
I'm surprised he didn't wear his cowboy hat. I really am. Oh.
Justice Chaps.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, walks in. Do I get a discount? You're right.
But yeah, Dot then turns up because Tom goes there, so she turns up to see what it all is, and like knickers get thrown at her.
Yeah.
She literally falls. It's like a comedy thing. She falls back, like full on backwards.
Yeah,
June Brown. It's like not a stunt double. She fell all the way back. And that was the end, and the duff duff. It was really weird, but like the best thing ever. I
mean, because we watched it obviously on the drama channel when it's broadcast, but we also we're lucky in the situation to watch the originals. And so sometimes when there was a few racial slurs in that episode too that had been edited out of the television broadcast, so we went back and watched them. But you thought that edit was a bit short too for Dot's falling back, but no, that was the original edit. Yeah.
Yeah, very odd. But amazing. Like, the best thing ever.
Would you say that was the highlight of your classic week, or was there another?
No,
moment?
My highlight was I'm Mags. You know Mags? Me, Mags.
Oh, Mags, me? What about Mags? What about me, Mags?
Put up with that.
Oh, Mags would never do that.
She's gone.
Mags is gone. Did Mags go in the van, did she? Did Mags take her trains and leave?
That's my highlight. Well, Mags is gone.
Well, Mags is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel a bit sorry for her. She was annoying, but I mean, Simon has, again, like Ian, has kind of just twitched. Went on holiday, came back, and he's just become this Lothario.
My favourite Simon, he's horrible now.
We know he is Den now, isn't he? He's the carbon copy. He sees Den as his father figure, and it's just... Yeah, he's just copying everything that Den does. His moves, the way he talks on the phone, the way he manipulates women and has one every night. It's
because behind the scenes they know that Leslie Grantham's leaving, you see. And it upset the actor who plays Simon because they said they're changing his character to have someone like Den still on the square. Which then obviously led to him leaving in a few years because he didn't like the way the character was changed.
Well, yeah, because he becomes Den on 100, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's just such a... character shift though. It's really strange when like a year or two ago he was singing Every Loser Wins on the piano while Lofty and Michelle looked longingly at each other. His floppy hair.
He was gone.
It feels a bit I still love Simon,
old Simon,
but I liked old Simon.
Nice
dependable Simon. Yeah,
not this guy that didn't turn up to funerals of his own son. What's that about?
What a meanie. I mean, I have to say my favourite moment has to be when Sharon basically makes it about Sharon and her relationship to the vicar is just slowly deteriorating around her.
Yeah.
I mean, Sharon always has to bring up about her mum and dad over anything. It's like
I'm adopted.
Yeah, and she's adopted.
By the way.
I mean, Sharon you see today, this strong woman, like the snivelling kind of Sharon that was. I forgot about that. And it's like she just, really winds me up.
She's a bit of nothing, isn't she?
Yeah, just a bit silly the way she gets upset over such redundant
She needs a
things.
Mitchell to come, you see, to change her.
Not long to go.
No.
I was really surprised when you told me when the Mitchells first get introduced.
Yeah,
I was
89.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe it was that early on. I was adamant it was the early 90s.
It was like, I think it's the 19th of Feb or 20th of Feb, so like on an anniversary episode too.
Well, that's as it should be. It should always be an anniversary episode. Just to mop up a few little stories. Leg's nephew is coming over. Dr. Leg's nephew. This is the beginning of the expansion of the surgery. You know, the money he later gives to Dot will be the beginnings of this.
Yeah, he's moving into the square, isn't he? So it means that he's a character now.
Well, he moves into the flat, spoiler alert, he lives in the flat above the surgery. So presumably Barry is on the way out soon then, isn't he? Because if he's going to be moving in, then Barry will have to move out.
That's fine. Barry's annoying too.
Well, Barry started a little disco business, hasn't he, with Ian? Again, it's borrowing money off Colin. I think he owes Colin around about £500 now because he gave him the deposit of the flat, the first rent, now the equipment for
Colin's
the
not really doing much either. He's just like moping around all the time.
Well, he's changed his drink of choice. He used to drink like lager, one of the lads, and now he's on a gin and tonic like Pat.
With Pat.
Yeah, no, he just wants to be like Pat.
New mate.
Pat is going to buy the license for the Vic.
Well,
with
yeah, we hope so.
Frank.
With Frank.
Yes,
yeah.
So finally Frank becomes a recurring character rather than a drop in, drop out style character.
I can't wait to see that.
I'm really looking forward to it.
I love Pank. Pank.
I like Pank too.
Hashtag Pank. New couple. No, I love Pat as well. She just can't do any wrong.
Yeah, frat. Pank or frat. Yeah, and Punk Mary can't cope with her time working in a laundrette. I mean, we've seen her skills in a cafe. We've commented before about her doorstep sandwiches. But
she wasn't good at that.
Well, she can't keep clothes in the right bag. She's handing them out to the wrong people. She's getting herself stressed. But her dad's calmed her down and said, "Don't worry, I'll give you a job soon." I mean, I would question whether I should give my own daughter a job once I've seen her experience on looking after a small little laundrette.
The man that never stopped smoking, her dad.
Always got a cigarette in his hand, even when it's raining outside and it's just like soggy and just
I love.
Think of the money we can make. Think of all the money. So yeah. I forget what he's called.
I don't know, Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith.
He was called Mr. Smith for ages until just recently on the credits where they gave him a name.
Oh.
So they must have not named him for ages.
I suppose it's another...
Chris Smith? Yeah. I don't know.
Chris Smith.
I can't remember.
That sounds like like John Smith. That's terrible. Oh, and of course the big build-up of the Wilmot Brown and Kathy story has begun. So Wilmot Brown has given Kathy a job at the Dagmar.
Yeah, because she wanted a job to get away from that stool.
Yeah, the stool that she wanted in the first place for her independence.
To get away.
To get away from Pete. She now needs to get away from that stool as well. But she must work on the stool still because she only works nights at the Dagmar. And Wilmot Brown keeps complimenting her. Keeps saying, "Oh, you're the most beautiful woman." I mean it as a friend. I mean it as a compliment.
And Pete's getting jealous.
But yes.
He doesn't want her to work in the Dagmar.
Yeah, so his trust of Kathy is beginning to wane already. He had a big speech about, why can't women know their place? Which instantly made me think, well, Pete, I hate you more.
It's horrible watching the Kathy and Wilmot Brown storyline, knowing what's going to happen, though, isn't it? It's like makes it worse somehow.
He is proper creepy though. Like you see these shots with him just staring at her from over the bar, like rubbing his finger over the rim of a glass, like contemplating what.
So
he's
another
planning.
one who's completely changed character as well. Like
again, friendly, nice, kind of dependable kind of a guy, and now he's kind of quite nasty, avoiding confrontation with Mags. Mags, what about Mags? And
didn't get Julie's theme, did she?
No, she didn't. Yeah, so it's been quite the busy week. I mean, we could have done a retrospective of the retrospective by looking back on the two weeks we've missed, but we just can't do that.
No,
so we've looked at the past of the
present past.
The present past, yes. Anyone else have any good memories of Classic EastEnders or ones that we may have missed and you enjoyed more? Just get in touch.
There you go. So that was our classic roundup for 1988.
Not just that wasn't the only time we're going to do it for this year. For the week this was.
Yes. But we're in 1988, the end of the classic era.
Easter is on its way.
Well, now it's time for us to close BBC One down for tonight. Wishing you a very good night on behalf of everybody here at the Television Centre.
So So Ben, I see you're sporting a attractive T-shirt there and a baseball cap and drinking your hot coffee from a mug.
Don't forget my apron and my pillow.
Oh, and your pop socket. Yes, and they've all got the same design on them. Some might say it looks quite plain with wearing all of them, but I wouldn't say that. I'd say you look stylish and fashionable.
Queen Vic.
The Queen Vic bust, an exclusive design that was drawn for the EastEnders Weekly Podcast merchandise store, which you can find by going to shop.spreadshirt.co.uk/EastEnders Weekly Podcast.
You're calling me fat? I know that's what you're saying.
I'm busy, Ben. I'm doing an online campaign on my Xbox.
Yes, we have a mini storyline of Callum not halfway.
Yes, you have to drill this into your minds now. No one's calling him halfway anymore.
Thanks to us. I want to take thanks for that.
Yeah, but
for
you already
his
did-
hat and him being called Callum.
No.
So our job's done.
But you were quite disappointed last week that they changed it from halfway. So you wanted them to call him Callum.
No,
They
I do.
started to.
But I find it hard to then call him Callum.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
I mean, when I'm writing notes,
I still call him halfway.
I still type halfway. I still write halfway.
Callum.
Right.
Callum. Bit odd. Has Whitney forgotten what her and him talked about at Mel's wedding when they kissed under that branch or that tree?
She doesn't.
We're
seem
gonna have a
very-
baby.
Yeah, the relationship doesn't feel very serious,
No.
does it?
And then he mentions a baby this time. It sounds like she's never heard him say that before.
Well, yeah,
Have
so
they just forgotten that?
it's weird because the whole this all kind of happens over one night, that they have a night off. And they're having this nice TV dinner, and Callum's talking about, starting a family, getting a deposit up. If we save for a year, we can get our own flat. Really nice.
Rather go on holiday.
Yeah. And Whitney's not interested in that. She's like, oh yeah, we can get a nice holiday. And so Callum, there's a strain beginning to develop between them.
This always happens with Whitney, doesn't it?
Yes. Well, because Whitney, let's never forget, was the one who made Lee buy all those things. And then quickly said, well, I didn't want these things. You bought them for me. So Whitney is starting to do that again now with Callum. It's like, oh, well, no, we don't have to get these holidays. But, if we are saving a bit of money, then maybe we could just spend it on me. And, yeah, Whitney's beginning to show Whitney again.
And she always does this when she's in a relationship. She always finds something to then say, oh, you don't really love me. You think this of me. You think that of me.
Yeah.
She always does that as well, which is because of what happened in her past. But she always does that when it reaches a certain point in the relationship. She tries to sabotage it, doesn't she?
Yeah, to us, she sabotages it herself.
Self-sabotage.
Yeah.
But Callum's having none of it.
No, he's not. But he is obviously not very happy that Whitney isn't taking it as seriously as he is. But then straight away he starts ignoring her. And then this is when Whitney starts taking it seriously, or uses her allure anyway to get his interest, and he doesn't show any interest whatsoever.
Yeah, she took
back.
off her dressing gown and she just had like another dressing gown.
I know, it's really funny, wasn't it? She obviously meant to be stripping into like this,
Something
sexy
sexy.
lingerie, and it was just another kind of like a really long nightie. Yeah, it's like she took nothing off.
I know, especially a few years ago when it was her hen do with Lee. This is going back a bit, but I watched it recently. She was walking around with a bright pink bra and a see-through top on.
Yeah, dirty. Stop out.
She could put that on for Callum. That would have got him off the computer.
Wasn't she pregnant though when she wore that?
Yeah.
So maybe she doesn't want to remind herself of her first pregnancy.
But yeah, poor Callum. All he wants to do is play a little game.
I loved the scene though when he was on the Xbox. And he was like, yeah. I'm coming your way. All right, here we go. I think he was playing online. This is maybe a spoiler with Dylan Box. Do you want to go this way?
Yeah. I'm just going to shoot him. Yeah.
Follow me to the ammo.
Yeah.
Follow me to the ammo box.
Might have been playing with Stuart online co-op.
I don't think. I doubt that Dot
Building
has
bridges.
I don't think Dot has broadband any faster than 2 megabytes. To be honest with you, she probably goes for the cheapest one she can get.
Well, she must do because Bex does all her revision at home.
Yeah, books. You never see a laptop. Never a laptop in sight.
Okay.
They must have decent 4G round there. Maybe even 5G by now. Well, lucky them.
But yeah, I mean they got called into work unfortunately when they were making up.
Yes.
Callum and Whitney. So.
Yes. Oh, well, over a jar of peanut butter. She was stuffing her face. She said, if you think I'm fat, we'll get fatter.
That was so random
I
when
know.
She said that.
Wearing her big white puffy jumper.
Where did you get that from? And Callum can eat whatever he wants, not gain weight, unlike Whitney.
Well, he's body shaming Whitney, isn't he? How dare he?
I know.
But
2 portions of sausage surprise, don't do anything for him.
No. I mean, where does it all go on Callum? On his feet?
In his hat. Speaking of, where is his hat?
I don't know. I haven't seen him for a few weeks. You don't say that perhaps he sent us a audio
ransom
post. No, he hasn't sent us an audio postcard recently, has he?
Wow. We've had your tweets. We've had your emails. We've had your messages.
Lots of.
We've got the message. So he's back. Where's Halfway's hat? Something has happened. Very traumatic. A beloved character on EastEnders has gone missing again.
Not who I think it is.
Yeah, Halfway Junior. Little Halfway's hat is missing again.
We haven't got a name for him yet, have we? Or her?
Halfway's hat.
It's binary. It doesn't know. It could be anything.
Halfway's hat. He's gone missing. And he's talking to us and he has a few clues about where he may be.
Right. I hope the clues are a bit more obvious for poor old ignorant me.
Oh, no. But yeah, he just wants to say hello and things. So,
Oh, I've missed him. Yeah, go on then.
Hello, I'm Halfway's hat, and I've been lost again.
Oh no.
Please try and find me.
Oh, we'll try Halfway. Oh no, Halfway's hat. He's always
Again,
going missing.
I know.
I just found him.
so difficult. Right, so, I mean, he can touch things, he can smell things, and he can look at things. What would you like to hear first?
So what's the options again? Touch,
Smell, and look.
Okay, I'll start with touch.
I can feel something cold, sticky, and hard.
Ooh. I don't like where this is going. This direction is wrong.
He's somewhere in Walford, everyone.
Thank you. I was going to ask you to reiterate that. So it's cold, sticky, and hard.
Yes.
Cold, sticky, and hard. I am going to guess the allotment. He's holding like a shovel or something.
Oh.
Okay, let's go to.
We'll see. What's next? Smell, or what can he see?
I want to see. I want to know what he can see.
I can see a big wooden box.
What? I'll tell you what. I think I'm quite close with this. Big wooden box. I mean, I fancy sticking to the allotment because the big wooden box might be a shed. He might have misunderstood.
What's cold, sticky, and hard?
With the ground, it's been quite moist, hasn't it, in the spring? The carrot.
Joyce's ashes.
I was about to say the cabbages.
Right, well, we've got one more clue. We can see what he can smell.
Okay, I want to know what you can smell.
It smells like something's rotting.
Something's rotting. Big wooden box and some sticky and hard. Ooh. I mean, it could still be the allotment. I don't know. Have I lucked out this week and actually got it right in
Don't
one?
know. There's only one way to find out.
I'm going to hedge my bet. I'm going to look for Halfway's hat at the allotment.
Okay, well, with whatever he says now, depends on whether you're right or wrong. Have you found him?
Oh, I guess I'm just going to be lost forever.
Oh no!
Hopefully someone will find me.
Well,
Oh dear.
where was he? Is he not going to tell
He's
me?
lost.
Oh.
Hopefully someone listening will be able to tell us where he is and he'll be found.
Oh, okay, so let's go over the clues one more time then. So he can touch something that's cold and sticky
And hard.
He can see a big wooden box, and he can taste.
He can smell. Something rotting.
Something rotting.
So there you go, guys. For you, those of you who said last time it's too easy, let us know where you think he is. Because if no one tells us, we'll never find him.
Well, how can they get in touch?
Don't know. That's your job.
Oh, okay. Well, you're meant to be looking for Halfway. You know where Halfway is. You're the cruel master, not letting Halfway come
I know
home.
nothing.
If you know where Halfway's hat is, tweet us at EastEnders Week. You can also contact us on Instagram at EastEnders Weekly Podcast, or you can go to our Facebook group. Just search EastEnders Weekly Podcast, or email eastendersweekly@gmail.com. Is there a prize for anyone, or just the knowledge of knowing
Just
they're
the knowledge
better
that
than
they're
me?
better than you.
Yeah.
And they could take over for the future.
Oh, right. So there's a job on hand here.
Oh, yeah. Job on the podcast.
This is a job interview. So if you know where Halfway's hat is, get in touch with us. And I'm presuming you're going to reveal the answer next week.
Yes, if someone guesses it, we'll find out, won't we?
What if no one ever guesses
So
it?
the Halfway's hat will be missing until someone guesses.
Oh my goodness. This
Very
is going to
cruel
go on
world
forever.
in Walford.
Right, so please give us your guesses, because we're going to be here all month if we don't get this soon.
Somewhere in Walford.
Somewhere in Walford. Sticky, hard,
Yes, let us know.
rotting.
Because you
box.
failed poor little Halfway's hat. He's cold, he's upset, and it's all your fault.
Wow.
So that was Where's Halfway's Hat?
Oh no, he's still isolated. He's somewhere, Ben.
It is.
I can't find him.
Till someone finds him, that's it. It's a limited run series, you see.
Oh, next week we'll give you the answer of where Halfway's hat is. However, what we forgot to mention is if there's any listeners out there who are musically minded and fancy writing a theme tune to Where's Halfway's Hat with words, get in touch with us because we'd be really interested in perhaps doing a collaboration. It'll be Ben, me, and Halfway's Hat.
Mm. Well, if he's found. If he's not found, then there's another game, I'm afraid.
Yeah, but it's
the rules.
I think if we put out a big tweet to Halfway's Hat, he'll come home. he knows the way home.
Only if Halfway stops calling him fat.
Yes, exactly.
So our last storyline this week is Bex and Kush, the one that I predicted.
Right, so
the one that you said, no, that's not going to happen.
Okay,
I'm reading too much into
here
it.
we go. This is my apology. As I said on Twitter, I apologise for yet again Ben being right and me being wrong. And one day, I'm looking at you, Stuart's storyline that I predicted last week. I will be monumentally correct, and we'll do a whole show based on Ben apologising to me. It'll be a whole half an hour.
2 to 3 year storyline of Stuart, and in the middle, murdering Rainey.
Yep. When that happens, I want a full apology. I want
we'll
you
see.
on the roof of the O2.
Not the Vic.
Yeah, on the Vic with a flag.
It's dangerous up there. It's very slippy.
Hope Halfway's Hat don't get up there. I can see the whole square.
See, you ruined it now.
Wait.
He'll never go onto the Vic roof.
Good.
He might die. That'll be the last one.
I don't want him to slip on the Vic roof. His little woolly mitten feet.
So we had another dodgy deal. Well, it wasn't actually a dodgy deal from Big Mo, but Kush thought it was dodgy.
Because Rebecca
Because of
did a
Bex.
bit of research.
Gosh, she's never going to get into uni with research like this.
Well, also, she's never going to get into uni if she complains the whole time that she hasn't got time to study and she can't get it to fix in her head, and then spends half an hour looking up news articles on her phone.
Or looking at Kush's face.
Yeah.
Close-ups.
Oh, God, yeah, that was disturbing, wasn't it? Just staring at his lips.
It was very odd. But yeah, she said that the coat's been stolen, so he then had to get them all back quickly. Habiba wasn't happy. That's right, Habiba appeared, everyone.
Yeah, big storyline for her. She returned a coat.
Yeah, and got a free dress.
Yeah, she did. Any dress on the stool.
Just not the prom dress from Louise from a few years ago.
Yeah.
Don't want that one.
Stand away from
She
flames.
gets set on fire in Walford.
Yeah. All of his dresses you need to be warning with the flames.
But it turns out it was okay. It was
Perfectly kosher.
Yeah.
Absolutely not a problem
Big
at all.
Mo was on the level. Is that the word?
Yeah, she was being honest.
Yeah.
For a change.
So she got an extra few weeks rent in his flat for it.
And a
to
free
say sorry.
Chinese. She got some pork balls. But a lot of homeless people in Albert Square now are much warmer as well, thanks to
good.
the deception or the misunderstanding.
Bex just handed them out, didn't she?
Yeah, willy-nilly.
Because that's why Habiba was upset, because she said, I paid money for this and homeless people wearing it. I don't want it anymore.
That's not fashionable.
And then we had the weird romance starting where Bex seems to get infatuated with older men quite quickly. It's like a theme.
Yeah, I mean, she's feeling like she's being ignored by her immediate family, so Sonia and Martin.
She's not being ignored, though, because Sonia can't shut up about it.
Yeah, but she can't shut up and going on that she's going to get her daughter's going to Oxbridge and she's going to visit these homes in Oxford and, these schools and find a place for her to go. And Rebecca's desperately trying to explain to her that she's having a few problems at college and she's not, doing as well as perhaps Sonia was hoping she would do. It's
weird, though, because a few months ago, Bex wanted to go, didn't she?
I think she does still want to go, but
she's not sure she's good enough.
Yes, there we go.
She's a Fowler. Fowlers are just salt of the earth. They never amount to anything. She's going to be the one to change it.
Yeah, she's no Libby Fox. That's for sure.
No.
And to be fair, let's never forget that Sonia didn't realise what a doctor was, despite her nursing career. So...
And knowing Dr. Legg.
Yeah. And watching him
there's
die.
There's never been a doctor on the square before.
Yes, this is madness, Doc.
Oh, Dr. Legg, I remember you from years ago. So yeah, that's iffy. But I mean, Bex's character seems a bit lost still to me. They don't quite know what to do with her.
I mean, we all thought that she was always a bit of a background character because she was on her way out. But it's looking as though that's not the case.
She's going to get a stall, is she, and just work on the market? What's going to happen? Where are they going? Because if she has this storyline of Kush coming up, that must mean she doesn't go to Oxford, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean she can't go to any university. Oxford isn't the be and end all of all university education. She could just go to... They could just make one up. Walford University. I don't know, just something. She could still get a further education.
There's no reason. But on the show, like, if you don't work on the square, you're not there.
Yes, look, well, apart from if you were Lauren. Lauren was a special case exception.
She got lots of location, didn't she?
Yeah. Taking photographs for her internet qualification.
Of garages.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bex is a bit lost. I mean, she thinks that Kush is, like, into her, so she, like, she arranges to go out with Louise at E20, which I thought was a lie to begin with, but apparently it's true.
Well,
Louise
was
is
true.
just a bad friend.
Well, Louise showed to be a bad friend quite regularly throughout these past couple of weeks to Rebecca.
So she has a drink with Kush, and they talk about Shaquille.
Yes, of course. Catching nuts when you throw them in the air, that old chestnut.
She pretends to be choking.
Yeah. He calls it the Himmler manoeuvre. I didn't like the
Very
way...
Ethel.
I didn't like the way they dumbed Kush down. They really... This week, there was a few things he said, and I thought they were kind of changing him a little bit to be a little bit naive and a bit, musclehead. So, I'm quite a pretty guy, but I'm not very intelligent with it. And
that's why Bex likes me.
But Kush has never been that. Kush has never been...
He's not been dumb, has he?
No, he's never been... Yeah,
like... He's been a bit laddie with, like, Martin drinking out of
but he's not
metal glasses.
No, those tankards.
Tankards, yeah.
But he's never been naive to the world. So he would have known it was called the Heimlich manoeuvre. That's a silly thing to say. Oh, the Himmler.
I always find those lines funny, even though I love Ethel, and when she says them, it's amazing. But even when Ethel, like, said words, I just find it's like people never say that in real life. Like, you never say things that, like, wrong like that.
I think sometimes it's a speech impediment. I think with Ethel, it's more of a kind of a speech. She gets a bit overexcited and she has this kind of problem with a speech. While with Kush, he's never...
It just felt really forced when Kush said it.
It felt
like,
wrong.
Oh, that was, yeah.
Yeah, they're deliberately trying to make him a little bit stupid. So, again, as you said, so Bex kind of goes, oh, he's a silly little naive head. I'm super intelligent. Oh.
Yeah, I can fit in quite nicely here.
Yeah, I can look after him.
But he pulled away when she kissed him.
But then later she said that he kissed her.
I know. She said that with the teacher once as well.
Let's never return to...
Track record here, Bex.
Yeah. She sees things a lot differently, doesn't she? She thinks that everyone...
Kisses her.
Yeah, which is a bit of a strange thing.
Yeah.
And she also then says to Louise later, because she doesn't say it's Kush she kissed.
No.
But she says to Louise, oh, and I don't even feel a little bit guilty about Shaquille. And it's like, oh, hang on, Bex. Like, this whole stabbing storyline was kind of orbiting around the fact that you and Shaquille, like, were madly in love, and, like, this was the biggest devastation in your life.
Although that was random too, because they, like, didn't talk to each other for, like, 9 months.
No,
we had a week of dating, and then he died.
We all knew it was fake. We knew she was faking it. But then to just blatantly rub it off and just say...
Yeah, you've got to move on. But maybe not move on with his brother.
With the brother, exactly.
And also... he's the father of Arthur, who is your, like, stepbrother too.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is he?
Relationships within families and close-knit groups is not new in EastEnders.
Especially in Fowler's bills. Ian loves it.
I know. Go back to our EastEnders Classic chat if you'd like to learn more about that.
Yeah, I mean, Louise was just being stupid, obsessing over Keanu and his Instagram account. So she was just not really listening. Bad friend again.
Oh, yes, because that was brought up as well, wasn't it? He obviously still likes you. So the Louise and Keanu story hasn't ended just yet. Still bubbling along.
But I don't want Kush. But did Kush say it could have happened, or he liked her, or did he not? He like half said a sentence, didn't he?
Yeah, when she ran away after the kiss, and when Bex was outside the club with Kush, and she said, "Oh, you wouldn't like me. I'm not even good enough." Kush said, "I'm your father's best friend, and even if," and then he stopped himself, and.
So that means he does like her then?
It means, yeah, I think he has feelings for her.
God's sake.
So obviously, this is the story, isn't it?
No. Icarus spilled wine over his shirt. What happened to that? I wanted them to get together.
I mean, I thought that was a bit cliched too, to be honest with you. I did. I
don't want him and Bex together. It's weird.
I mean, why does Kush always have to be in a relationship with someone? It doesn't... I know he's a very attractive guy, but it doesn't mean he has to... like always have women falling over his... I mean, there was a phase, and you could see it again this week, where when he drinks a bit too much, he gets a little bit absent-minded. I mean, could he not just be a bit promiscuous for a little bit, and like his character becomes... Yeah. I mean, that would be a more of a obvious trait for Kush, because he's still getting over Denise a little bit too.
Big Mo can be there to see how many women he brings in.
Yeah, and she could be like the mother, if she can bring in the cup of tea in the morning to them both to like...
Put them off.
But yeah, give him some nice advice, Mo's advice.
I just don't feel like this is needed, but that at the same time, I feel like Bex is getting a bit lost as a character.
She's
sadly.
getting lost as a character, but she's also just
going nowhere.
She's getting a bit headstrong with the fact that she thinks that every man is attractive. It's a bit like when Martin found her in E20 and she was dressing up a little bit suggestively, and she kind of portrayed herself as being like, I'm very strong-minded and very independent, but then when the matter arises, she doesn't seem to be that way.
She can get with Jay, someone more suited for her. More her age.
Well, I think Jay's going to have his pick of the bunch soon when Lola reappears.
Depending on what her secret plan is.
Well, that's...
Shh. That's what Ben says. Shh. But yeah. So, I don't want them to get together.
No.
So that's that.
That's the end of that. I mean, as I said, I don't see what's going on with Bex because she's obviously meant to be going to university, but that's kind of slowly being bled in that she probably isn't. I don't know.
Very strange.
Don't know.
Right, on to our results of Who Won the Week.
And our tweets and messages from our listeners.
You know me, I ain't one to gossip.
As always, at the end of a week of EastEnders broadcast, we put on our Twitter a poll of who you think won the week on the square. However, also as always, we like to look back at what happened this week in previous years in EastEnders. And Ben has dutifully done just that.
I have. Got a running theme this week from both years. So 21st of March 2000, it's Peggy's birthday. Do you know who Peggy shares a birthday with?
Heather's death.
No.
Okay.
Ben Mitchell.
Oh, does she?
Yep.
Never
Born
knew
on
that.
the same day.
Oh.
So in 2000, she misses Grant. She got a card from Grant and Courtney. Kathy, off screen, has taken Ben out for his birthday and he loves it. And Peggy rubs it into Phil's face because they're arguing at the moment.
What, Peggy and Phil?
Phil, yeah.
Is this around about the time when he burns the Vic down? Or
It's 2000, so yeah, ish.
Yeah.
And also for Peggy's birthday, Pat buys her a present.
Oh.
What do you think Pat bought her? Pat Butcher.
Yeah. It will either be alcohol,
No.
earrings.
Yep. Yep, she bought her favourite earrings.
Of
really
course.
big ones in a box, and Peggy was very happy with that.
Oh, was she? I suppose she
Yeah.
didn't make a spiteful comment about it.
She was all good. Right, 22nd of March 2002.
Mm-hmm.
Ben's birthday.
I was about to ask, is it Ben's birthday?
Do you know who shares the birthday with Ben?
Peggy Mitchell.
That's right. So, we've got a few things going on in this episode. So, Laura is leaving Ian Beale because she caught him kissing Mel.
Oh, wow. So 2 years after they were meant to get married?
Yeah.
Okay. I loved Laura. Can I just add that?
Yeah, she's cool, isn't
Really
she?
liked her character.
Yeah. Taken too soon downstairs.
By Janine.
It's Peggy's 60th birthday.
Peggy's 60th?
Yep, 2002.
Goodness me.
And Sam Mitchell, the new Sam Mitchell, Kim Metcalf, she's forgotten her birthday.
Oh dear.
And she's also forgotten whose birthday?
Ben Smith.
That's right. But Peggy says, don't worry, I've written your name in our card.
Oh, that's kind of Peggy.
Yeah.
Good, they're quite uncharacteristic, actually. You'd think she'd really make a spiteful thing about it.
And this is funny about Ian because he's kissed Mel and Laura saw. So Laura said, I'm leaving you. She goes to move in with Pat.
Right.
And Laura and Pat are waiting at home thinking, no, Ian will come and try and get this all sorted out. He'll come here in a minute. So I'm just going to wait here. He's chasing after Mel.
Of course.
He thinks he has a chance of her.
So what is this, 2019 again?
And then Mel then says, Ian, no, it was just a silly mistake. We shouldn't have done it. And Laura just caught us. So she says, no, I was horrible to you. All I've done is use you. And he says, yeah, it's fine. So I was like, this really is current. And because of that, he then goes back to Laura and apologises.
Yeah, goes for second best. Someone who can look after him.
Ian.
Ian's funny, isn't he? Because he always needs someone to look after him. His mum, currently, but Jane. But his one has always been Mel.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't
I never really thought of it that way. I suppose Cindy can't even be his one. It's Mel. Mel is his one. It kind of makes 2018 make more sense.
A little bit, but it's still irritating.
Yes.
And because of the birthday theme,
Yes.
and you know how I love birthdays on EastEnders.
I certainly do.
This time last year, whose birthday of past characters could it have been? So whose birthday have we missed? So, 24th of March, Yolandi's birthday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that wasn't mentioned.
She's now the GM of, Minute Mart.
19th of March, Steve Owen's birthday. So Mel didn't even mention him. Don't care about Steve, does she? 18th of March, Chrissy Watts. It's her birthday in prison. Is she out of prison?
I was only talking about her this week to you. I would love Chrissy to come back.
Yeah. 20th of March was Donna's birthday. Did Robbie send her a happy birthday text, I wonder?
Donna Kebab.
Ali's birthday. Ali Osman, 24th of March.
I'd love Ali to come back.
And this one is interesting because he's on the show and he had a mini storyline this week. Callum, Highway, 23rd of March.
What, they didn't
So
do...
maybe him playing his computer game was just his little birthday present to himself and Whitney didn't care.
Yeah, maybe he bought himself a new Xbox game.
Yeah, no wonder how he's upset. Whitney forgot his birthday.
I think that some writers forgot it was his birthday too. I have to say, because I would have thought they would have intertwined that into the story. They said, oh, let's have a birthday dinner.
No, off-screen birthday this weekend, I guess, for him.
Oh dear.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Poor Callum.
It's a shame they missed it, really.
Happy birthday, Callum.
Yes, happy birthday, Callum.
He was born in 1991.
Was he?
God. 23rd of March 1991. So there you go. I thought that was a bit interesting.
That is interesting.
All those people's birthdays that no one cares about.
Dead and alive. Or in prison. I tell you what some people did care about, and that's some of the characters that are currently on the square and who they believed had won the week. So we asked you, out of Denise Fox, Ruby Allen, Bex Fowler, or Shirley Carter, who was the character or story attached to them that you thought was the best. Like last week, I'm going to ask you who you thought came last.
Right, who is it? Ruby, Shirley,
Denise, and Bex.
Bex last.
No.
Oh, Denise last.
Denise came last, 4%.
Oh dear.
She didn't get any votes on Twitter or Facebook. She just got 5 on Instagram. Poor Denise. Third was Bex with 11%.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now, this is interesting because one of these final two, Ruby and Shirley, one of them was the most popular on Twitter and one of them was the most popular on Instagram.
Ooh.
So it was a bit of a split, which doesn't normally happen.
Shirley was more popular on Twitter.
No, it's the other way around.
Oh.
So Shirley came second with 41% altogether, and Ruby came first, but only just with 44%.
Ooh.
So it was a really tight vote. But it was the two that I agree. I think Ruby
it's a big
and
week
Shirley.
for Ruby. So.
It was nice to see Shirley have a story other than just. Though when she shouted down the stairs at Callum and said, "You had one job!"
Oh yeah,
I did like that this
funny.
week. That was a great little moment. A few comments on Instagram at EastEnders_cast cards said, "Love the elderly woman living in the apartments where Ruby lives." I liked her too.
Yeah, with her bat.
Wasn't a bat though, wasn't it? It was a plank of
Cricket
wood.
bat. Oh, was it?
I thought it was a 2x4. I thought she ripped up a floorboard to attack Martin with, and she let Stacey in. But Martin had to wait. Yeah, it's just, you're
the murderous
female.
woman. She's allowed in.
Yeah, she's fine. Someone who's actually murdered someone.
Poor innocent Martin on the fruit stool, not allowed in.
No, you could choke on one of his pips. At Abby_21 said, Ruby trying to get revenge on Ross is the part I liked the most this week. A couple of comments on our Facebook group. Chris Scott said, impressive. It's about time we got some decent drama. Had said, Ruby for making us all very worried, even if the story doesn't seem very likely. Keep your comments coming on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Just got one from Caddy CTS Lover. They said, really enjoyed your new in-depth character feature for Pauline, as she had already left before I became a regular viewer. As much as I like Max, it's definitely time to rest the character for a few years. Rainey is so much more interesting without him. There you go. That was our first till last, our new feature, which appears every now and then.
Yes. Well, because next week we have our This Is Your Life feature coming back for returning character.
Back.
Who are we going to be chatting about?
And we also had Matt Cherry ask us, has it ever been established what Shrimpy's real name is? I'd hate to think he introduces himself when out on the prowl using his nickname Shrimpy. So I thought, there's only one man who knows the answer to this.
Yes.
Shrimpy.
That's Shrimpy.
So I asked Ben Chapness, do you have any idea what his name is? What's on the driving licence? We know he has a driving licence.
We did after we made the mistake of saying he didn't.
But Ben Chapness says, I have no idea. Would be great to know though. What do you think it would suit him? Potentially Shrimpton as a surname.
Yeah.
And this went on for quite a while from them trying to create a name for Shrimpy. But it ended up being Shrimpy's name, which is by the man Shrimpy himself, Ben Chapness, Mickey Shrimpton.
Mickey Shrimpton. So that's what Shrimpy believes his name is.
I said it sounds like when you've been caught shoplifting from Minute Mart. What's your name? Mickey Shrimpton. So yes, interesting. Let me know what you think Shrimpy's real name is, maybe.
yeah, you can let us know your thoughts and comments on Twitter at EastEnders Week. You can go on Instagram at EastEnders Weekly Podcast or email us eastendersweekly@gmail.com. And of course, there's our Facebook group, which you can join by searching EastEnders Weekly Podcast in the search bar on your Facebook window thing. And that's another week wrapped up.
Yeah, there you go.
Just to celebrate, I've got us a little drink. There you go.
Oh, thanks.
That's okay.
Cheers to 58 more.